What is up, Total Excellence? So, for tonight, I'm going to be interviewing Nandor for his awesome campaign called Seasons, which you all will see right here. Oh, I'm not even in the first page because I'm so gosh darn excited. So, we got Seasons Volume 1 and 2. So, this is pretty exciting. You're going to have extra content that, you know, you're going to be getting. Going to get volumes 1 and 2. I feel like it's a missed opportunity, but I'll let Nandor know about it once I bring him onto the show. So, everyone, please welcome to the show Nandor.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? Can I just say that you have the most coolest name on the planet that I ever heard of? I mean, you could be like, since you're a writer, it's perfect. Like, you are
Mhm.
basically a wizard. Like, you,
Yeah.
you, you know, is like, who was going to deny with the name like Nandor?
Yeah, it's gotten me into, some secret places that most people can't, get into and I'm a part of a lot of secret organizations,
Oh, no. No organizations. I'm thinking about maybe wizardry or something, but okay, organizations, fine. We'll mix it up with
Yeah,
fantasy
yeah,
and reality, you know?
it's like the Magic Order, or something like that.
Oh, man. So, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really good, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on tonight, and I'm excited to talk about seasons, and it's great being on your show.
Yeah, no, most definitely, dude. Thanks for coming by. So I'm pretty excited for seasons. I have like a crap ton of notes. I never do notes
Oh,
within my interviews,
wow.
but you're
This is
my
great.
first guest that I'm super excited to ask. So yeah, dude. So I have so many questions, but we're gonna do this in order how I did it.
All right.
So, Nandor, what's your background within writing and why pursue comics?
Yeah. Really, um, my first kind of interest in writing really started with video game journalism and writing blogs on GameInformer.com, and I got really interested in kind of analyzing things and being analytical um, with video games, really. Like, and then I kind of started to want to write about movies, and like I would write like little reviews and things on like social media and things like that. And that was when I was around like 13, like 12, 13 years old. I started writing blogs, and I
Oh
was,
wow.
putting content out there. I'd try to write like a blog a month.
Hmm.
And I kept doing that. And then GameInformer.com would have these, what they call blog herding. And it's like this post where they pick out of all the community blog posts, they choose a handful of like the best blogs of that week or that month. And one of my blogs got chosen as like one of the best for the month.
Wow.
And I was 13, and so
That's
like
crazy.
yeah, so to me, um, that was really like a encouraging moment. And then so I kept writing, and then I started doing my own like comic book like reviews and stuff like that on one of my friends' websites. And um, by the time I got through high school, I was I knew I don't know, like I've always loved movies, I've always loved comics, and I've always just really loved storytelling and the way
Hmm.
stories affect you and have impacted me as a person and make you think about the world differently. Like they've been a really big influence on me. Like some of my favorite stories have really shaped the way I see the world. And you can even if you're a very religious person or not, it's like stories are just like a part of your life. And you if it's like in a religious text, or it's just a
Hmm.
comic, or it's a movie, it's like somehow stories really impact people. And I think it's kind of the best way to communicate, truth and different things that maybe we're not able to articulate. And I started to notice that about myself and kind of the person I was growing up to be, how stories just move me and make me
Mm-hmm.
feel really, they make me cry and they make me laugh and they make me, inspired and all these things. And so around high school, after I got out of high school, I was really, wanting to know, okay, what am I going to do? What's my next move? And I started going to college, but at the same time, around the same time that I started going to college, I was thinking about writing more creatively. Like I got tired of writing about other people's stuff and writing about like reporting on other people's creative material, whether it was comics or movies or games. And I was like, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to like make something new and make and um, just see what I could do. Really, it was kind of out of curiosity of like, okay, if I were to write something, what would it look like, and what
Mm-hmm.
could I do? And comics seem like the best option. It's something that uh, really start small if you want to, and write a single issue, and it doesn't have to be like this massive thing. And so I wanted to try that, but
Mm-hmm.
then I came up with the idea for seasons, and that was really birthed from me going, okay, if I were going to write a comic book, what would that look like? And um, I've always loved superhero comics, and something about superhero comics, though, that I thought I could change or at least put my own spin on it would be a character whose powers change. Because
Mm-hmm.
with all these characters, we always kind of know what they can do after a certain amount of time, and there's all this history for all these characters where we know what Superman can do, we know what the Fantastic Four can do, we know what Batman and all these characters, what their power sets are. And
Right.
so I thought, what if I made someone where that would be unpredictable? And I didn't want to do like a hero in tights kind of story. I wanted to make it
Mm-hmm.
a lot more grounded. But um, so that's really how Seasons was born, and bringing that kind of to fruition. So around when I was about 17 is when I started writing it, and writing the first issue. And then that's when I was still in college, around 17, 18, I started looking, after I finished writing the first story, the first volume, I started looking for an artist. And that's kind of like where it took off. And once I found Anthony and we started working on it together, and I started to realize, like, oh gosh, like this could actually go somewhere. I just, went for it, and I haven't really looked back since.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's really awesome, man. It's like you were just you know it's just like, man, that is just awesome, man.
Thank
I just want to even dig a little bit more deeper
you.
into
Yeah.
like the like I really like the concept. It's like you really like you really hit the whole thing of like, superheroes, like what they do, but with this
Hmm.
character, like his powers change within the seasons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he may not even know what's gonna happen, or the people around him is gonna react to him, because they're already used to maybe one thing from him, but now if there's another one, is like, okay,
Hmm.
what's going on? So let me just give a shout out to Supernova 61 310. Hey, hello, Ichthy. Hello, Nova. Thanks for coming by the stream. So I want to dig a little bit more deeper, since now you said that you want to make a like rounded superhero.
Hmm.
What was the idea or inspiration within the birth for Seasons? Because there are grounded superhero stuff that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have tights per se. Like Watchmen is the most ultimate example for like
Yeah.
grounded characters, very complex because of Alan Moore's type of writing, and also Astro City, which is a very interesting concept. Is like it's grounded
Hmm.
superhero comic, but it's the funny thing is it's basically like not necessarily more of the heroes, but the city itself that's interacted within the heroes and the citizens
Yeah.
within their perspective. So yeah, like I want to go much more deep into seasons because this is by far a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I think Watchmen, I don't know if I don't think I had read it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I knew the story and I knew um, Alan Moore and kind of the whole kind of theme that Watchmen was trying to bring about kind of deconstructing superheroes and bringing them kind of into a real world and how would these people actually, kind of communicate and how would they actually be in the real world? And so that always really fascinated me, and that's something that was brought out in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
those movies are heavily um, made to be the more than a superhero film. They're a thriller or or an action thriller, and so it's kind of like using these characters or these really larger than life characters and trying to kind of get a grip on them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say those, and then also man, like the Earth One books that DC was coming out with, like J. Michael Straczynski and like
Oh
Superman
yeah.
Earth One, and I don't think Batman Earth One had come out, or maybe it was just about to come out, but they were really trying to bring these heroes into like a modern light, and to me that's very interesting in the Ultimate Universe too with Marvel. They wanted to kind of bring it and to modern times, and how would these characters be now, besides when they were created in the 60s. And so I wanted to kind of take that and um, still keep all of the kind of natural and very like superhero vibe that the legacy characters have really had for all this time. So like if you make the heroes too grounded, you start to lose the heroism.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, if they're just like you can kind of lose an ideal or someone to look up to, because then you're just kind of looking at yourself. But
True.
um, that's something that with seasons with the main character Fletcher, you start out with him, and he is you. I mean, he's you. He's like the person you could meet on the street. And I wanted to really find someone with relatability, because that's something that DC does it partly well, but Marvel does it even better with making these characters more grounded and relatable, with like Peter
Mm-hmm.
Parker and the way they write some of the characters. Tony Stark, you can be that arrogant prick if you want to, or Peter Parker, you can be that guy that is always rejected and always is struggling. And but like Barry Allen, he's a great example of a DC character who's he's always late, he's never on time, and he's always really struggling to do his best. And I wanted to create a character that was like that. And then but build him up and build
Right.
him up to that point where maybe he could be that ideal, or he could be that figure to where we look at and we go, he's a hero, or at least he's someone who kind of starts to look outside of himself, because in the beginning he's so very selfish, very desperate, and very in his own world. And I wanted to start with that and then grow him and make him, show the character development and the character growth to where we can see the kind of person that we would hope to be, or someone that you know we feel he is meant to be. And that's something I want the reader to root for the character. I want the reader to like get behind him and go, you can do this, and you
Mm-hmm.
can be better than who you are.
Right. Yeah. No, that sounds fantastic, dude. Like just with that, like how can I say, like there are times where we can relate within a character,
Hmm.
but it'll be at a point where like okay, like I understand, but then once you jump to another character, then you feel like okay, maybe it's because maybe it's the same writer, or maybe
Hmm.
just the writer itself that are just tag teaming along each other. Like okay, like they're playing with the same note, but it feels like it's a different character with a different clothes and everything, but it's still the same
Yeah,
person
yeah.
that they're just,
It's
it's
kind of a
basically,
copy and
yeah,
paste.
in
Yeah.
common. And I don't want to feel like, okay, it's good to have one character I feel connected with, but I don't want to feel connected with every single character because every character has a different thought, every
Hmm.
character has a different mindset that you may not agree with, but you can still like that character
Yeah.
despite of what their beliefs are. And
Yeah. Something that I heard a really great writer director say was uh, you don't always have to make your characters likable, but
mhm,
if you make them fascinating enough, that's really the key. Like if you make the reader or the viewer just really fascinated with what makes that character tick, and they want to, like, they can't help themselves but be invested in that character because they're just like, he's interesting, like
yeah,
you just, if you give them that hook, you can kind of reel them in and be like, all right, like, I got you, and now you can't help but follow him.
yeah. No, that's exactly it, man. Because I don't know, it just seems like a really weird time that we're living in. It's like every time, like, if you don't agree with what I think, we can't click together,
Yeah, I
which
know.
is,
I know.
and then to me it's like that's so not reality because I've been around with so many people, I clicked with so many people that are way different than me.
Hmm.
I never smoked, I never drank or
Yeah.
anything. I'm very clean, and every other person is like total opposite of me, but
Yeah.
I'm somehow, hanging out with these people and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I may not agree with the lifestyle they live in, but still like it does not prevent me for,
Yeah, from
just to
connecting.
be with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I mean, if there are deeper kind of more emotional and kind of psychological connections that people really uh, do agree or connect over. I mean, if you have the same mentality with someone, you can really, or the same interests, like someone who
Yeah.
loves comics, someone who loves movies. It doesn't matter, like, if they grew up in you know the UK, living a completely different lifestyle. You can still connect with them over those things.
Yeah, no, most definitely, dude. So now to my next question, because pretty much like seasons is pretty much like a big vision of yours and stuff.
Yeah.
So like how were you even able to even conceptualize like the art style and stuff and even finding your artists like Anthony Gonzalez Clark,
Hmm.
that like how did you felt like that, all the artists that you worked with, because I know you did like a previous comic before you did seasons, like how did you felt that, Anthony was a guy that this is the type of art style I want and it
Yeah.
just hits my vision.
Yeah. So, what was really important was to find someone who could draw and like draw high detail, but also be able to do um, a lot of expressions. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of because I wanted, like we were talking about, I wanted it to feel grounded and real, and so you need that realism. You need to have these characters, have a good impressionistic, look to them, to where
Right.
they have that reality, and you feel like you could see this person walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, I found him. I was looking on DeviantArt, which is a great source
Yeah.
for artwork, and a lot of great creators on there. But I was just going through pages and pages, and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of art, and just kind of seeing what I could find. Anything that would kind of resemble the artists that I really love growing up, like people like Steve McNiven and James Avar and Steve Epting, Gary Frank, people like that who could kind of deliver that versatility, but like that visceral realism that I really enjoy. And so I saw actually a piece he had done that was from It's a Wonderful Life, and
Oh wow.
so he drew Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed, and it was like great. It was like you could tell that was Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed, and
Yeah.
it was just perfect. So then I clicked on that image, and then I clicked on the rest of his portfolio that was on there, and he hadn't done a lot of comic work, but he had done enough to where um, it just it kept me interested. And like I would look at the page and I would look at his artwork, and I would always find something new to see. Like there was just a lot of detail, and there was a lot of creativity within a page that I just hadn't seen a lot of. And something Anthony's really great at, and this is something that the more I've worked with him, the more I've noticed kind of what separates great artists from just good artists, and it's really movement and how you
Mm.
can um, draw a static image, a 2D image like a panel on a flat piece of paper, and make it feel alive or look alive, like something's moving, and there's wind blowing these characters' hairs and their clothes, and there's just a lot of movement and dynamic kind of um, composition within the
Mhm.
page that I noticed. And so I just I don't know, like I've kind of deemed myself kind of a artist hunter. Like I love looking
Mhm.
at art, I love artists, I love working with creative people. I'm always jealous of them because I'm not that good of an artist. So whenever I see someone who's that good, I want to be around them because they're just cool. Like to me, they're just cool, and
Yeah.
the fact that they're able to do that is kind of nothing short of a miracle in a way, because to me it's just such a great talent. Um, so I emailed him through there, and he was looking for work at the time, and we really just connected creatively, and we would storyboard together. We'd spend hours together, storyboarding the pages and kind of coming up with a visual style, and something that Anthony has done, which is really awesome, and it's something that you'll be able to see as you go through these first two volumes, and eventually into volume 3 and 4.
Right.
His art style is getting better and growing with each book, and
Mhm.
it's really amazing because it really lends itself to the story, because Fletcher, the main character, is growing as a person, and so
Yeah.
you start to see like the visual style and the story even come together even more, and it's almost like this subliminal messaging of going, hey, like this character is becoming better, and so is his world, and his world in a way is getting better because Anthony is getting better too as an artist. And so it's just really, really amazing how this is kind of it feels very the synergy of it and how well everything is coming together is very incredible, and just uh, something that I couldn't have foreseen at all.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, the art is just gorgeous, man. I mean, the art itself, I think that's the most difficult part is black and white, because you can't just do line art and just not give the details, because that's the
Yeah.
beauty of like black and white, which
Hmm.
I like the most, is that it just gives so much like redeemable quality for the artist, and you just give much more appreciation compared to colors,
Yeah.
because with colors, I mean, you know,
Colors
color.
sometimes cover up, some of the inconsistencies, and
Yes.
yeah, and you can kind of cheat with colors, like I mean, you can cover some things up, and I'm a massive fan of The Crow, and that book really kind of helped me decide to make this book black and white, because I
Mhm.
wanted to do something um, that was very indie and very unorthodox.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's doing color. Not some people are doing black and white. Usually, it's just for budget reasons,
Right.
or it's because maybe they couldn't find the right colorist or something. But I wanted to do it because I found a great black and white artist, and I was like, why try to um, do what everyone else is doing, or why try to like make this the most conventional we can. Like I'd rather do
Mm-hmm.
something different and make it stand out. And also, when you look at a page, you'll, even though it's black and white, I dare you to find anything that was inconsistent with like how it's supposed to look. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we will be. What's really cool is we will be adding color with each volume, and this is something that's really important to
Oh wow.
the story. Is uh, so Fletcher, he starts out as a very like empty character, and his life is very kind of directionless and doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
have a purpose. And so with each volume, we're going to be adding color to some of the most like important kind of introspective scenes and kind of character moments um, and just for really big scenes that we want to kind of convey the most, so that people that turn the page, they're like, oh crap, this is important. There's
Yeah.
color on this page. But also we're bringing like color back into his life.
Okay. I
Bringing that
really like
idea,
that. Yeah.
yeah, bringing that idea of like, you know, um, everything doesn't have to be so empty, and so uh, depressed. It's like there can be, the sun rises. There can be, beauty in the world that and colors, that you can see. And so we wanted to do that with this book too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I the concept and the idea is fantastic. I mean,
Thanks.
that was going to be like one of the next questions I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
But before I do that, shout out to Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant. These guys rock. Thank you so much, Pops.
Yeah, Pops. I know Pops. Hey, man.
Yeah, everybody knows Pops.
Yeah,
Pops is
everyone knows
like
Pops.
Pops is popping.
That's
Let me see. He says you are live in the madness. You doing Facebook tonight? So pretty much, Pops DM'd me, inviting me to his con,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
Prom Con. So I don't know if you got the same invitation that I did.
Yeah, I
So
think I did for CromCon 9, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still have yet to like answer him because he sent me like the screenshot for the time slot, but now I gotta ask him again for the update for the time
Yeah.
slot. Let me see. And we got Edwin over here. Hail peeps. What's up, Edwin? Thanks
Hey,
for coming
everyone.
by the stream. And we got Gingerton popped in for a spell. Seasons looks great. Yeah, no, Seasons looks fantastic, man. I mean, I'm
Thanks.
I'm pretty like stoked right now. I'm like, holy cow, dude! It's like, man, it's just like everything is just, oh man, I'm my heartstrings is getting, I don't know, I'm getting emotionally attached now, especially with all these concepts that you're hitting me with. So that's, which is another thing that is going to be a question, is like how long did it take to conceptualize and develop Seasons within these like themes and topics like
Mhm.
which I got from your campaign, which is identity, existence, purpose, responsibility, and like have you ever self insert your life within the experience to like put into your story?
Yeah, I mean, really, really, kind of all of that really comes from, a personal place, of my life and kind of growing up as a person, and kind of people around me, kind of seeing the lives that they've led. I'm always really fascinated with, since I, was a teen, and started to, kind of dive into more philosophy and
Mm-hmm.
philosophical stories and themes that I noticed. I really kind of had a scholarly type of attraction to those kind of themes about, nihilism and, versus, there actually being, meaning in the world, and religion versus science, or, is there a coexistence? Do they
Right.
need to be against each other? Really kind of those, like, you know, really thoughtful types of worldviews. How do we view the world? And it does start with your place in the world and like who you are as a person. And movies like Inception and The Matrix and things like that make you think about, is this reality? And what does reality look like? And I've
Hmm.
always been really interested in that. I mean, I've done some research about different worldviews of why we're here, and what is our purpose, as a nation and as a race, and all that kind of stuff. And um, this is very fascinating to me because everyone has all these different ideas of um, you know what makes a human tick, and like kind of uh, what's our purpose, and I think every individual person is looking for that, in some sense, and they either find it in a spouse or a different person, or in their family, or in their job, and their hobbies, like we all try to find something to kind of fill a void. We're always kind of, I think, searching, like as a as a people, I think we're kind of searching for something. I mean, we're searching for love. We're searching for identity, and like the kind of person we want to be. And so a lot of that came natural. Like it's just kind of my personality. I'm really interested in those types of things, and I wanted to write a story that dealt with those things. And as much as it can, it's a lot. It's a lot of information, it's a lot of introspection. But I started, kind of start with my life, and other people that I know, and kind of think about um, you know w- where we've been, who we are, where we're going, and that kind of idea of like, what makes life worth living. What does that
Hmm.
look like? And I love exploring that. I love exploring our own mortality, and I love exploring morality. And how we as human beings are really fragile, and how we have this sense of good and evil, and right and wrong. And there's a lot of interesting kind of information in books, on all this stuff, and it's something that's been debated for years and centuries, and all that. But with Fletcher as a character, he really started, with um, wanting to tell a story about someone that um, doesn't have anything really going for him, and I
Hmm.
wanted to figure out a way to bring life to someone. Like it's kind of my own way of encouraging people to kind of look at life in a different way, and
Right.
not always, you're really in a lot of ways to let people know that they're not alone. Like other people go through these things, and other people struggle with loneliness, and with rejection, and with uh, you know feeling like their potential is wasted, and like
Hmm.
they're not really or they don't have the opportunity to be the person they want to be. And so um, it really came from a place of that, and wanting to kind of let people know that the world, and what where you're living is, maybe you don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to be in the
Right.
same place. And Seasons is about change, and that's what that's all about. It's like
Hmm.
changing for the better, maybe changing for the worse. Kind of exploring what that would look like. And uh, with Fletcher in the first book, he's really struggling with his own sense of morality, and his own sense of like desperation. He really is infatuated with this girl, and at his job, and he can't um, find the will to talk to her, ask her out. And then something goes wrong where it doesn't go the way he wants it to go. And uh,
Hmm.
that was really his obsession, and from that he starts to learn in that first volume that maybe his goals aren't exactly right, and I think a lot of the time we kind of can fall into our own habits, and not really think about the bigger picture. And I wanted to kind of make a character that would start to see what that would look like.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. That's it's exactly how you said is like how can I jump onto that because it was just a lot, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's just
yeah, and
that.
it took, like it wasn't. It took me a while as a whole for the entire series.
Right.
It's going to be 4 volumes, and it's going to be this one large, story for this character.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while. It took probably about 8 months to a year to write everything
Oh,
and to really come up with it. And I'm still editing, I'm still working on it in a way. And, I have mostly the entire story done for all 4 volumes. It's just a matter of kind of editing things here and there and, making it the best it can be. But it did take a while to try to articulate all of that is, the real, I always have a notebook with me and I write down questions. I always try to ask myself questions, like, um, what's the motivation for this character? What are you trying to say? What's the point of the story, or what's the point of this arc? And
mm-hmm.
you're always trying to get that, and then explore that to the amount that you can.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Now that like we're going down deeper into this rabbit hole, that we're
Hmm.
just swallowing this either to swallow the blue pill or the red pill.
Yeah.
You know, jumping into the matrix. Yeah, no, it's really crazy because we were never ever taught like in school or anything like we're told about goals, but
Hmm.
we do not know how to properly make goals.
Yeah.
and
Right.
and also within now that we know the word goal and we have this amazing book called the dictionary or Google nowadays, to do that for us
Hmm.
is like okay, now we know the definition is like okay, now how can we make this goal into something that could be a physical entity
Yeah.
that we're able to like make it happen and then just have us encourage us to even continue doing it over and over again. It's just not only for a goal for us to accomplish, but it's something that sets our mind onto it,
Hmm.
that within our habits changes our habits within time. Because I mean, we as human beings within our habits, like we do not notice, but until someone within third person tells us, like you are doing the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
and like when are you gonna change that? And as what you said before is like we humans, like we're really sensitive, so
Yeah.
sometimes when they point something out as a flaw to us, it's like we take it personal and we think they're totally wrong. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? We'd be head bopping and just, snapping our fingers. Like, what are you talking about? Like, let me point your flaws and all of
Yeah, you
this.
start to point fingers, and yeah, like you're like, you're not better than me, and we can't take any criticism, or constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of all feel like we're on the same playing field, but and in some sense we are, but people that are looking out for us, you hope they have the best interest in trying to help you get out of that cycle, that you
Yeah.
kind of are in. And that plays into seasons too, seasons, and that whole idea of um, kind of being in a cycle of change. And the
Mm-hmm.
seasons of the year are always alternating, and life is always kind of um, you know has this kind of yin and yang feel to it, to where it's just this circular motion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a big kind of design element that Anthony and I figured out with the series, is kind of like lending itself to that idea of life is kind of a cyclical nature, and the idea of seasons, how they alternate and how, we come back around, every year. It feels never ending, and it just has kind of that play into like human life too, where, with our history as humans, sometimes we fall into the same exact patterns that, we had before. And you kind of start to see the symbolism a lot, in different things, and
Hmm.
try to find the what can we learn from this, like what can we learn from these mistakes, and what can we learn from, the past, and how does that apply to the future, and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, no, and another thing too is really interesting is like how are you able to even break down into four volumes? Because I mean, you could like be an ongoing series if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
right,
It's just crazy, especially with his character. Because I mean, seasons it's never ending. So
right, right.
just you just making it into four volumes, just that that restriction to it. Like why four volumes? Is this based on just within the four seasons or?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so each book is going to be a season of the year. So it takes place in 1 year of Fletcher's life, and
Oh wow.
the first volume is spring, the second is summer, the third will be fall, and the fourth will be winter. And the Indiegogo campaign is for kind of helping the production of volume two, because we actually launched a Kickstarter, for Volume Two in October, and we made the goal, and Volume Two is going to be made. And the Indiegogo campaign is really to kind of bring it to another market and bring it to people who might have missed it during the Kickstarter.
Right.
But yeah, so each volume is going to be over 100 pages, and all together, when the story's finished, when Volume Four comes out, it'll be, a 500 page, story. It'll be this really massive kind of epic, but it's all kind of set in real time in 1 year of this
Hmm.
person's life, and that's really why I kind of wanted to. Um, I didn't want to do something that would just keep going and going. I wanted to do something that would have a definitive ending,
Right.
and I wanted to let people know that, hey, like if you start with us here, in spring, by the time we get back to spring, or at the end of winter, you will have a full story, and you'll have something that you can invest in, and not something that will just keep going forever, and will never have an ending. And it was really important for me to um, have a character and have a story and a character arc that
Hmm.
would have a beginning, middle, and end, and something where people could start and then finish and go, one, crap, he can tell one hell of a story,
Yeah.
and also, we can see how a character, can grow, and the amount of time that it could take, for this to happen, and still get a lot of, a lot of content from it, and have it be to where people feel like they can, have all four volumes on their shelf and be like, that's one heck of a series, and really feel like they've gotten something out of it.
Hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. So that's really interesting. Like, why did it took you? Well, not take you, but what persuaded you to like jump onto Indiegogo
Mhm.
since after the second volume and not the first one?
Yeah, so Indiegogo has really like grown in the last, couple years, or the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I launched the Kickstarter for Volume One. That was in 2017,
Hmm.
and so I did that, and we funded, and that was my first Kickstarter and my first, book, and it was really exciting. And so Volume One came out at the beginning of 2018, and I kind of had heard of Indiegogo, but I didn't really see a lot of traffic over there.
Right.
And so uh, when I did my other book, Lifeline, I went to Kickstarter as well, but then I started hearing a lot more about Indiegogo. And then so I thought to myself, and I started seeing people doing a Kickstarter campaign and then an Indiegogo campaign, like for the same book or vice versa. Um, and so with volume two of Seasons, since I hadn't done Indiegogo for volume one, I thought, well, hey, let me bring both of these volumes to this platform and kind of let's see what kind of headway we can make and what kind of impact we can make on this platform because we were so close to hitting some stretch goals for the volume two Kickstarter, and I thought, man, I really would like to hit some of these. So I wanted to bring it over to Indiegogo so that people on the Kickstarter and the people that back it on Indiegogo could like get in on some of these goals that we wanted to get. And um, I wanted to see, if Indiegogo would be a better platform,
Hmm.
what kind of community there was there, and it's kind of experimenting with it, and seeing do I like Indiegogo better than Kickstarter, and kind of how does it compare? And I kind of brought Seasons kind of out of nowhere to Indiegogo. I didn't really let anybody know that I was going to
Hmm.
put it on Indiegogo after the Kickstarter
Right.
because I wasn't for sure if I wanted to do that, but I had a handful of people contact me and tell me that they prefer to do it through Indiegogo, or they think that I could do well over there. So it really was kind of by demand that I was like, okay, well, hey, I'll put this on here, and so far it's been pretty good. Not as good as a Kickstarter, but I mean we've made
Hmm.
700 extra dollars that
Yeah.
we wouldn't have made with the Kickstarter, and so and there's still a week left, and I'm thinking about extending the campaign too because this is only the first 30 days. And I know the last week, I'm sure some more pledges will come in and things will pick up because the last week is coming up.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I'm really happy with what we've been able to do, and we've unlocked a few stretch goals. I'm really hoping my main goal for this campaign is for us to hit the $2,000 mark. Because
Right.
if we hit $2,000, I can do the expedited shipping for all the books so that everyone gets their book like a lot sooner, like a month and a half in advance.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
From Yeah, so I'm really, really trying to hit that $2,000 mark, and so far for everyone that pledges, um, they get an exclusive art print, and also one of the stretch goals that we hit was where the book for volume two,
Hmm.
the cover is going to feature some spot gloss UV and
Yeah.
embossing. Yeah, and the actually also too the interior paper stock is going to be thicker. Um,
Okay.
so it's going to be like a really deluxe hardcover for volume two. And then yeah, if we hit 1,000, every backer is going to get that exclusive double-sided bookmark.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, because I saw your Kickstarter and it's literally over the over the goal that you pretty much hit from Indiegogo, and you pretty much hit the goal from the Indiegogo without promoting it, correct?
Yeah, right,
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I barely let anyone know, and I was on a couple of shows, kind of as it started, but for the last, about 25 days, I've really kind of just, tweet it out there and share it with people that might have missed the Kickstarter, but I
hmm
haven't been pushing it as hard. And kind of as we were talking about before the show, a part of that's because I was, really exhausted from
yeah.
doing it during the Kickstarter, but also I kind of wanted to see what kind of natural traction I could get on the platform, and kind of see, what we could do. and also just kind of experiment with it and kind of change things around every now and again and kind of update the page and um, you know just kind of see what we could do.
Yeah, no. It just gives like some hope with some indie creators because
Hmm.
the first thing that whenever they create a comic is like, okay, like you got the art, you got the writer, now the colorist, and that's always a go-to, is always the colors. But sometimes
Yeah.
I'm one of those minority that I just like black and white. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I appreciate the colors and stuff, but I would really appreciate if there's like maybe like an alternative, or maybe like a special version that you get just to see only like the black and white art,
Yeah.
or just the inks, just to give appreciation, like this artist took the time to make
Yeah.
this book look so gorgeous, and then you just get this colors that never worked on the art on his part, and
Hmm.
just smear it, unintentionally, but
Yeah.
that's how
Right.
it feels every time I see colors. And yeah, so that's a thing that at least seeing your campaign, especially you, without even promoting it, maybe like here
Hmm.
and there, but just being a black and white, and yeah, like there is color, but there's gonna be like what, maybe one or two pages, maybe just being in
Yeah, just
color.
just a handful of pages. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So far, there's only going to be like around maybe like 4 or 5 that we know are going to be like color, and that's all there is. The rest is black and white, and for and that's the thing. Like when people hear black and white, I don't think it doesn't do Anthony's work justice, because when people hear black and white, they think, oh, it's very minimalistic and not a lot going on. But when
Right.
you look at his work and you look at the pages, I mean, you can see and kind of interpret the page with the color, and as you look at the pages, you're like, gosh, color would actually probably mess this up, or not. It wouldn't look as good with color. And
Mm-hmm.
you can get a lot of the motion, a lot of the dynamic, paneling, and the way the characters are moving. It's just like the colors would probably make it, as you said, smear it, or have it lose some of its clarity.
Yeah. No, I mean, look at this, man. I just can't imagine this being in color. Like, this is
Yeah.
just it's just perfect. Um
Yeah, mostly all of Volume One was traditional too, like that.
wow.
He does multimedia, mixed media. He'll touch it up with digital, but for the most part, everything that Anthony does is traditional.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's wow, man. Which is another. This is interesting too. Is like, don't you have like a tier, especially on Kickstarter, like you can get the traditional art, or is it?
Yeah, there's actually a perk, and it's on Indiegogo right now too, where people can
Mm-hmm.
get an original page. Yeah, it's the very last one.
Very
Um,
last one.
yeah.
Is it the Fox Collectors or bundle
No, it's
or?
actually the producer, collector producer.
Okay, I see. It's
Yeah,
right there. Oh
yeah,
wow.
and that one comes with a lot of goodies. Like you get an original page, and you get an original sketch, and you get your name in the book, and you get drawn to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And you also get volume two in the PDF, and then you can add on for volume one, and then you also get 2 art prints. So just for $250, you get original artwork and all that other stuff. And it's incredible. Like I have almost every single page from Seasons in original artwork, and it's beautiful. Like sometimes I'll just sit down and look through it, and the art is just amazing. Like Anthony is just an amazing artist, and he's perfect at doing it. Traditionally, like he's a master at it.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, just like when I was just scrolling down, it's like I
Hmm.
just feel like I'm not. It's like a magical thing about comic books. It's like you just see motion within a still image, and
Yeah.
that's what makes a difference between an art, like the art and the artist. Like the art
Hmm.
is just a still image. The artist makes the image move you, and
Yeah.
just brings it within motion. And you really did a great job hunting your artist.
Yeah.
And you know you get to mount his art and everything and just show it off within your fireplace along with your wizard friends. um, and which is another thing too, because it's obvious that this book within just 4 volumes, like I believe, is going to achieve no problem. I mean, it's already bringing traction. I mean, you even have traction within Indiegogo with like no promotion whatsoever, and
Hmm.
just hitting the goal like that is pretty amazing. So you do have an audience that is following you,
Yeah.
and those who missed out on it, really did follow through with you, and they did back it. So, which goes to me just even jumping onto another thing, which is
Yeah.
once you achieve releasing all 4 volumes, do you
Mhm.
ever plan on like making it into an omnibus?
Yeah, actually, that's actually kind of a big dream that Anthony and I have to where after all 4 volumes, and something we might do
Mm-hmm.
either as a separate campaign or maybe the tail end of the last volume, we might have like a stretch goal where like we hit this amount,
Mm-hmm.
we'll make an omnibus and like a maybe like a slipcase, absolute edition type of oversized book, would be super awesome. Like I love absolute editions that DC's come out with, and I own some omnibuses, and it'd be pretty sweet. Like I'd be really, really excited to do something like that. And I think you're not the first person to ask me, so I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of people that want that, and
Yeah.
so that really excites me. Like I that makes me happy because I'd love to like do something like that, and the fact that other people are wanting it just makes it even better. Because me, I would love it, of course, but I mean, if there's
Mm-hmm.
not a demand for it, then there wouldn't be any point. But I would love to put it all together in one big volume.
Yeah, no, I do believe so. I think the reason why not a lot of people would jump onto omnibus is because now there's like I've heard from alternatives, like they're not selling a lot of like graphic novels. Like people
Hmm.
are buying the floppies, but not much of the graphic novels.
Yeah,
And so of course it's going to deteriorate every other creator that would do crowdfunding. It's like, man, it's like I've achieved the greatest goal, which is making sure like each and every single issue is
yeah,
like,
right.
it's been funded. But now like I want to redo, like not redo, but create another campaign which is
Hmm.
super beneficial. Is like if everyone missed issues 1 through 1,000, you're gonna get a gigantic omnibus
Yeah,
that just hopefully you saved money within the bank within those years that you've missed out on.
yeah,
And
right.
it's just twice as bigger than how the original pages were.
Yeah.
So it's something awesome, and I do believe like it is something that I recommend, even though I'm like maybe the second person to ask you that. But I think it is something that you should really look into, and even if it's a
Okay.
dream, just make that dream into a reality, or just test drive or do a survey or something, that even
Yeah,
if someone
yeah.
even
I
actually
think
knows what the heck an omnibus is, because they might think I'm talking from another planet or something.
right, right. No, I would. Yeah, that's something that would be really awesome to do.
Yeah, so shout out to Neostar Productions saying, "Oh man, this is twice in a row I showed up late. It's all good, Neo. It's all good. Don't stress yourself, man. We're still on."
Yeah, we're still
So
going.
yeah, don't worry. We're partying hard with just amazing things that this campaign has going for. So yeah, no, dude, I would love to. I mean, again, the art and the volumes, and even just the mere fact that you could even make it into an ongoing series is just, to me, is just so oh god, I don't know how you feel so not like persuaded yourself to like, man, it could be ongoing, but you don't feel like you're trapping yourself within it. Like you're really like you're straight to the goal. It's like, look, I said like this is gonna be 4 volumes. This is gonna be four
Yeah,
volumes. There's not gonna be, oh, this is gonna be a second season. No pun
right.
intended.
Right,
it's
right.
it's
I mean,
it's
I would only do that if I felt like the story called for it, or if people were really wanting something, to that degree. But I really, really believe in the story that I'm trying to tell, and think that the best stories, have an ending. If it never has an ending, then you can't really land it that well, and you don't want to prolong something just to prolong it, and then maybe people don't like it after a certain while. So it's like
mhm.
you want to start strong and finish strong.
Yeah, no, exactly. And just also just getting reviewed within big talents like Jason Brubaker and
Yeah.
all the other people that you put highlighted within your views. Is like how the heck you even came across with Jason Brubaker? You know?
Yeah, I mean, he's someone that we reached out to. He actually did the foreword for volume one.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so for people that get volume one, there's a foreword for it, and Jason Brubaker wrote that, and yeah, he's an amazing guy, and he really loved what Anthony and I were doing, and people like Brian Michael Bendis,
Yeah,
we
that's
got
another
we got
one that I want to ask you.
yeah.
It's like Brian Michael Bendis. It's like how he even got to this dude? Because the only two reasons I could even think of is either one, like you met in a convention, you're like, look, let's you nudge your R's like, look, let's just give them a book, just for free,
Right.
and just have them look, or you're lucky enough to like get their email address, and then hopefully they respond back to it, and it might pique
Mhm.
their interest for a response.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how I got in contact with Brian. I just, I think I messaged him maybe over Twitter, and then I got his email, or something like that, and I just emailed him, and he was, I couldn't believe it when I got the email back from him, because I thought, oh, he's too busy, or he has more important things to do, but uh, you know, every writer, every comics creator, they started kind of out in the same place of, being an indie creator and wanting to make comics. And so I think a lot of them feel, like, hey, everyone in this community needs to help each other out. And no matter how big you get, I think that's always kind of a part of your mentality. Like, we all started at the same place. And Brian was just really gracious, and he really helped, you know, uh, really give the book a jump, that I wouldn't really have, and a lot of people see that and they're really impressed. And I have shown, I don't have a quote from them particular, but I have shown seasons to other creators at cons and have gotten really great feedback from people like Tom King and people like Colin Bunn, and yeah, Greg Smallwood, and different creators. And so there's been a lot of people that look at it and are really impressed with it and find a lot to love.
Yeah, so shout out to Stinch
Thanks, man.
Whackbaker. Thanks for coming by the stream, dude. Wave back at you as well, dude. So now we're gonna go and finish off the show, but we're gonna break down to just the tiers that you have on your campaign, dude. Because I mean,
Yeah, man.
so far, I mean, it's gonna be a successful campaign. I mean, you already hit like successful goals within volumes 1 through 2, and then even the
Yeah,
Indiegogo, no promotion whatsoever except here, of course. But anywho, is like even without
yeah,
promoting, is like you're able to even hit your goal, which is to me is like it's like every other indie creator's dream. Is like if only I don't need to like
Like talk
promote
about it.
or any of the hard star stuff. It's just
Yeah.
people just throw their money and I don't need to explain it. Like you just read the
Yeah,
text.
so yeah, with the Volume 2 Kickstarter and this Indiegogo campaign, altogether we've raised over $7,000. So I
Wow,
mean,
that's
it's definitely a really successful campaign, and it's been super encouraging, and you know it. What I love about doing this campaign on Indiegogo is both book one has already been made, and book two it's going to come out early next year, so like
right.
um, people that back it, they're going to get both volumes. It's not a matter of
Hmm.
help us make this, it's a matter of just if you like what you see, pre-order the books, and you'll get them, and you'll love them. They're going to be really high quality. Like I have the first volume right here,
Wow,
and you can tell, it's a hardcover. Both volumes are going to be hardcover,
that's fantastic.
and it's really high quality stuff. And you can just look on the inside here. Um,
Wow, that is. Hold on, let me like big. Gosh dang it. I don't want to show the glory of myself. Look, oh my
yeah,
goodness, look how gorgeous that is. That
yeah,
is fantastic, man.
yeah. So that's volume one, and that's spring, and then volume two will be summer, and they're both going to
Hmm.
be hardcovers.
Wow,
So, and you can see the one right down here, and then
that's
volume two will have a
fantastic.
two, and then three and four. But yeah, there's a lot of great artwork. Let's see here, one of my favorite pages.
Yeah. Shout out to Stitch Whackbacker. He says, "I'll throw the word around." Thank you so much, dude.
All right, man.
Let me see. Ichthus let Nandor, my bad, Nandor know that Indie Volt will gladly have him on. Look him up on Facebook. Most
Oh,
definitely, dude. Yeah, look him up. Yeah, I've recently found another YouTube channel called Indie Volt, and
yeah,
they
I've been on there a couple times.
oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, most definitely. So you already have the door open for you, so you just knock
yeah,
on it.
I love those guys. They're super great, and Randy and Van, like they're great to talk to, and
Hmm.
I love what they've done, and they're super funny and super fun to be around and talk to.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I enjoy the cast of the Indie Volt because it's a lot of fun. Like it's something different. I love jumping onto other streams, and
Hmm.
Indie Volt is kind of like one of those like shows where they actually have like a show schedule. I even love the promo that they recently showed off for Indie Volt, which I'm like, dang, like it seems legit. I could just see it like as like a G4 channel or something like that within like their
Yeah.
promo screenshots and everything. Stitch says, and Nandor hit up Kami Mark on the CGUK side.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of him, but
This is the
yeah, I haven't.
first. This is the first time I'm hearing it too, so I might look those people up as well.
Yeah, yeah. If anyone knows any great shows to be on, like I'm always open to it, because I'm not doing as much promoting, but I
Mm.
definitely love watching people, and subscribing to different YouTube channels.
Yeah, no, me too, dude. Me too. So we're gonna break down this amazing campaign. So we got the featured one, which is Seasons Volume 1 and 2, signed by you and your artists.
Yeah, and that features so it's signed by me, my artist, and that features an exclusive book plate. Um,
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's numbered out of so many copies. So both volume one and two will feature this collector's book plate that features exclusive artwork on there. And yeah, you can get both volumes, and usually they'd be $30 each. But
Mm-hmm.
if you get the bundle there, you get $10 off. So it's a really good deal for people that want to catch up. and also get our signatures and get that collector's edition feel to it.
Nice. Yeah, no, that is, especially that you even put a discount. Like the original price I could see was $75, but with thirty three
Yeah,
percent off, like you put it $50, which is so affordable. Everyone jumped onto that. 6 out of the 50 people.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and also now we just scroll down here. So this is the one I'm really interested. Is like just really interested in like the reason why this part was added into it, because you got a huge like graphic novel, and then there's this PDF that is basically like a floppy. So it like
Mhm.
when you did seasons one, like was it originally like a floppy for 25 pages, or is this something like to test drive and to see if there's interest within the 25
Well,
pages for people to read?
yeah, so each volume is broken up into different chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Volume one, it has like four issues or four chapters.
Right.
And so this is the first issue or the first chapter in volume one. So I wrote each chapter, as if they were a comic book issue, so that I could keep everything really tight, but also keep people on the edge of their seat to where when they're reading the book, they can't help but go to the next issue or go to the next chapter because they want to keep it going. And also, it would help me as a writer to be able to write single issues, but still tell a complete full story. And Seasons, is also online for people to read. And I had it on the website, and I wanted people to know that they could read the first issue, see if they like it, and then
Mm-hmm.
come back and read issue two and issue three, and so on with the rest of them. And starting with issue five, that's when summer kicks in, and that's what volume two will be comprised of: issues five, six, and seven of Seasons. It's kind of just a great way to break it down for people. That way, they don't have to sit there and read a whole 100-page graphic novel. They can actually read the first issue or the second issue and put it down and then come back to it. And it kind of breaks up the story so that it keeps pace, and also people can set it down if they want to set it down and like go do something and then come
Right.
back.
Yeah, no. I don't know. It's a really interesting thought though, because I mean you can honestly, maybe for the next campaign, like this is my take and my input, because
Hmm.
I honestly think like now that people will be, once you jump onto issue not issue volume 3, you're going
Yeah.
to have new people that are going to jump onto it, but they're not really sure if they will be invested on it,
Hmm.
especially that now they're like, okay, like there's volume, I got to do a catch up tier, and I'm not sure if I'll be even invested in this thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but there's a reason why is there is a third volume. What I would, this is something that I learned from Tyler,
Hmm.
and it made some persuasions to people even backing it. Is just use season number one PDF and just show off 25 pages, and the only thing that you need from them is to give you their email address,
Yeah.
so that way you can use it as like potential customers to even back your project, because
Yeah.
and update them. So I feel like that would be another way for people to, if they're not sure to be invested into this campaign, well,
Hmm.
now you can just use the 25 pages of issue one, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you can,
Yeah.
pass
Right.
off on it.
You get
So
at least you get 25 pages. Yeah.
exactly. So that one kind of confuses me, but that's like my little input within that. But a
Yeah, man.
dollar is not bad. I mean, it's not bad, especially just this humongous book that you have here. That you're just gonna have a lot of content within it. And so now we're just going within just PDFs of seasons volume one of spring PDF, as well as season volume two of the PDF, which is yeah. So what's the difference within the page, like the pages within volume one and two?
Yeah. So The reason why Volume Two is more is
Hmm.
since it's our latest release, and
Right.
um, there's going to be more pages in Volume Two, and also since it's the newest book, it's they're both over 100 pages, and I think Volume One clocks in at 104 or 105 pages, and Volume Two is like 110 or 15. So there's just a little more content there for people, and
Hmm.
also since it's the latest book, and the people usually I had Volume One at $10, but for people that since we're bringing Volume Two out for people that maybe just want to check out Volume One at a good $5 price, and if they like that, then they can move up and get Volume Two. And I actually have a package there where they can get Volume One and Two for $15.
Wow.
But yeah, it's over 100 pages, for $5. So that's really good.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Let me see. There's like a lot of stuff that Stitch put in, so we'll catch on to those. Stitch
Yeah.
says Peter Cimenti is doing a public promos over at the Alterna Comics channel for indie creators to come on and promote.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
awesome.
one. Yeah, that one I've seen a lot. Like he does open mic
Yeah, open
promos.
mic night. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I believe it's every Monday that he does it.
Hmm.
So that one you can keep up to date on that one. Just set on your calendar. And he also says, I sent the campaign to a guy who's launching his own show, may end up in review at the Global Frequency Studios on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Dench. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks, Stinch. You are the MVP for this stream. You know, I don't even know who Stinch is. He just popped in. You know, I just throw in the links all over Discord
Yeah,
channel and
man.
even like my Twitter group. So he
That's
must be
sick.
in one of those. So yeah, man, thanks for helping out, dude. I mean, that's pretty much what this whole show is about. Just helping out every indie creator, just known to man, especially this type of campaign. I mean, this demands more attention, honestly.
Thank you.
So yeah, now you got both, which is $15. Yeah, it's great too. It's like why just be invested with one if you can have both?
Yeah, oh yeah. Under $20. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got those who are already up to date gets you know spring, which is well just only that one, and well this is the one that's up to date.
Right,
So it's the
right.
summer hardcover. Okay, one claimed it. So someone's already up to date. People are not, so we got that one. Um, and you got tiers that people get a signature from both you and your artist. And let me see, physical copy, which is without the signature. And then you got the Fox Collector's Bundle. So can you give me a digest within the Fox Collector's Bundle?
Yeah, so that the Fox Collector's Bundle, it includes the collector's editions of volumes one and two seasons, and that has the book plate and numbered so many copies, and then also it comes with the PDFs, and then also my other book Lifeline that I did, and that book is the book I did with 7 different artists from all around the world, and
Mm-hmm.
each chapter is drawn by different artists and features a different decade in this one man's life, and it's told from the perspective of a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just my other book, and it's kind of to catch people up with if they're just finding out about my work and what I want, what I've done. They can get everything that I worked on at a discount. So if they like what they see and they want to collect everything that I've done with my signatures, from my previous campaigns, and that's a good route to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stitch brought up like an interesting that I honestly did not know until he brought this up. He says, "I do love the spring purple cover. Reminds me of the Exorcist and Death Wish poster." So that's
Yeah.
another thing that I have not caught on to is like, how did you even think of like colors and even like just the colors within the
Mhm.
seasons?
Yeah, spring to me, a lot of people see it, and it's very vibrant, and that's when things are new again, and for me, spring was the way to kind of contradict that concept, and also purple is definitely, a spring color, but it also kind of has this melancholy and this kind of mystery behind it, and so purple just seemed like the perfect color for spring and for that idea of kind of bringing that mystery, and that the first volume definitely has more of a horror feel or thriller feel to it,
Okay.
um, and it just kind of got across that vibe that I was going for. And then summer being red, um, that just kind of, when I think of summer, I think of the sun, I think of heat, I think of fire, and that kind of whole intensity of it. And so um, the plan so far is, spring is purple, summer's red, fall will most likely be orange or like a yellowish orange, and then
Right.
kind of the leaves changing type of deal, and then winter is going to be blue.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so excited for this campaign, man. Like you just, man. Now I'm ready to throw money at you after this interview is over, dude. Because this is fantastic, man.
Yeah, man, that'd be sick, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt about that, dude. Let me see if this is a new comment. See, I do love the spring purple. Okay, yeah, this has already been used. Um, so now we got this other tier that says like your name in seasons, like season summer. So is it like a thank you page,
Yeah,
or what do you mean like that?
so there's gonna be an acknowledgments page on the back of the book, and you can get your name printed in the book, and then you get the physical book, and then your name is forever, engraved into the book. So
Oh man,
yeah,
that's fantastic. What else? And we got this one, which is like, it's you
yeah,
get
that's
all
the
the
big one.
goodies, man. That's huge. You get all the goodies.
Yeah, and also, for people that if they don't get the very big one, whatever physical tier, like if they just get volume one of Spring,
Mm-hmm.
um, like for $20, or if they want volume one and two, since we unlocked the second stretch goal was everyone gets an exclusive art print. You're going to get an art print no matter what. So, if you just want the book, you'll get extra goodies, just for backing the book. And volume two will also be upgraded, as a deluxe hardcover for people. So, people can see that you'll get more for your money. So if you spend $20 for the book, you'll also get an art print, and that's something that is just free, that you get within your package.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. Nandor, this has been a fantastic, fantastic day with you. Thank you for your time, dude, and just being on the show and just sharing your book and your vision and everything. You're excellent. So,
Thanks, man. No, hey, thank you so much. This was a pleasure, and I'll definitely hit you up and be back on your show, and I love talking about this, and you've been a great host, so thank you.
oh, thank you so much, dude. I do my best to make sure that whenever someone just jumps onto other shows and gets interviews, like, it's one thing that I really, as me as an individual, whenever it comes to interviewing and stuff, I want to make sure that whenever you're interviewed, like maybe there's some little changes here and there whenever you give out the answers, or maybe there's just a question that no one has ever asked before,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure like I hit that, like, oh man, like this, he didn't answer this
Yeah,
question.
no,
So
you asked really good questions, like questions that I haven't. Everyone usually kind of starts out asking about the campaign, and kind of goes through the campaign, and I really like how you asked me about kind of my process, and you've asked me questions that no one else has. So that's really exciting for me, because I like talking about different aspects of the book, and that helps me to know that you actually looked at the campaign and looked at the product, and are not just asking general questions, but you actually did your research and wanted to kind of dig deeper, and that was awesome. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, dude. Thank you so much. Like I like to do my homework, and
Yeah,
I like to dig deep. You know,
right.
so yeah, so I'm gonna be showing off the last comments, and then I'll be saying our goodbyes on the
Okay.
show. Okay. So Stitch says, "Oh, my bad, Nandor." Let me see. Oh, he says, "Damn, I'm dumb. I have seen this campaign on Indie Vault. I think I was too busy bullying Randy and Varian.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Oh yeah, Mandy Summers will probably like to have you on if you haven't been there."
Yeah, Mandy, she's awesome. I was on there a week or two ago, I
Uh
think.
huh.
So
Yeah, no, most definitely. So everyone, thank you so much for watching through. I mean, this has been the longest interview I've ever done. It's because I'm just so into like this whole thing, and yeah. So thank you, Nandor, for your time, and I really do appreciate just all the answers you give and just your process, man. Like I just hope that this campaign within each one just gives you more attention than you deserve, because you're like you and your artist himself. Like I gotta get your artist onto this show as well
yeah,
once
man.
once volume 3 or season 3, whichever number that you guys will choose.
Yeah.
um but yeah, thank you so much for your time, dude. Honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
So
you, man.
yeah, so for everyone that's watching, thank you all so much. You guys ooze of excellence as always. God bless. You guys are awesome.